Have you ever wondered what happens when a regional power challenges a superpower? What goes through commanders' minds when missiles streak toward their ship? Today, we're diving into one of the most intense naval confrontations in modern history, a story of miscalculation, courage, and overwhelming firepower. This is about the moment Iran and its allies learned a lesson they'll never forget. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear will leave you speechless. Would you risk everything for an alliance? Keep that question in mind. Gulf of Aden. January 27, 2026. 3:42 p.m. USS Sterrett, an Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, cut through calm waters 45 miles ahead of the USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group. Standard screening position. Routine patrol. Or so it seemed. But in Tehran, Iranian Revolutionary Guard commanders were watching. This was the culmination of months of planning, billions in secret weapons transfers, and a partnership forged in desperation. For 6 months, Iran had been transforming Yemen into a fortress. Iranian cargo planes, disguised as humanitarian flights, had been landing in Sana'a twice weekly since August 2025. Carrying Chinese C-802 anti-ship missiles upgraded with Iranian guidance systems. Weapons that could actually threaten American warships. But Iran didn't just drop weapons and leave. They embedded 47 Revolutionary Guard advisors directly into Houthi command structures. Seasoned officers who had studied American naval tactics for decades, men who knew every weakness in the Aegis defense system. The Iranians also provided a sophisticated coastal radar network, the same system they used to monitor the Strait of Hormuz. Suddenly, the Houthis could see everything moving in the Red Sea. Can you imagine the transformation? A ragtag rebel group suddenly equipped with technology most nations don't possess? Supreme Leader Khamenei's order was clear: make the Red Sea ours. Show the Americans they cannot project power without consequences. By January 2026, 6 integrated missile batteries were operational across Yemen's coast. Each position was a miniature fortress with radar, communications, and backup power. But the Houthis didn't fully understand something crucial: every time they activated their Iranian radars, every communication between Tehran and Sana'a, every training exercise, the Americans were watching, recording, cataloging. U.S. Space Force satellites had mapped every battery. CIA operatives had photographed the Iranian advisors. Naval intelligence had intercepted the communications protocols. The trap was set. The Americans were just waiting. January 26, Houthi Military Command, Sana'a. Cigarette smoke and tension filled the room. On screen, footage of a burning tanker, their latest success. The caption, soon. Abdul Malik al-Houthi stood before his commanders. Behind him, via encrypted video, sat General Amir Ali Hajizadeh, commander of Iran's Revolutionary Guard Aerospace Force. The Americans think we are finished, al-Houthi began. They believe their ceasefire means peace here. They are wrong. Hajizadeh's voice crackled: tomorrow, the armada passes through your waters. Strike the escorts. Show the world that America cannot protect its ships in our region. This wasn't just a Houthi operation, it was an Iranian strategic test. Could a proxy force, armed with advanced weapons, actually damage American naval power? The plan: 16 missiles, coordinated launch, multiple vectors, all targeting USS Sterrett. Overwhelmed the defenses. Even if most were intercepted, one hit would be enough. One hit would force the carrier group to withdraw, embolden Iran's allies, prove American naval supremacy had limits. Launch time, 3:42 p.m. What they didn't know. U.S. satellites had intercepted every word. January 27, 2 p.m. Commander Jennifer Martinez stood on USS Sterrett's bridge, eyes scanning the horizon. 14 years in the Navy, 3 deployments. Something felt wrong. Captain, increased electronic activity from the coast, her radar officer reported. 6 locations showing unusual signatures. Martinez's jaw tightened. Sound general quarters. This is not a drill. Think about what's going through her mind. She's responsible for 330 souls. She knows something's coming, but not when, not exactly how. 3:35 p.m. Across Yemen, Houthi crews received the authorization code. Iranian advisors stood beside them, checking firing solutions. In Tehran, Revolutionary Guard commanders leaned toward screens. In Washington, the Pentagon erupted with alerts. Aboard USS Abraham Lincoln, Admiral Richardson made a decision: if they fire, we don't just defend. We end this. Permanently. 3:42 p.m. Whoosh. 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 16 C-802 missiles erupted from launchers. Flame and smoke. For Houthi crews, it was exhilarating. For Iranian advisors, vindication. For Commander Martinez, game time. 3:42 and 14 seconds p.m. Vampire. 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 Multiple missile launches detected. Counts 16 inbound. All vectors converging on our position. The bridge exploded with controlled chaos. Alarms. Automated systems activating. Training taking over. Launch SM-2s. Engage at maximum range. All batteries free. Whoosh. 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 Standard Missile 2s rocketed from Sterrett's vertical launch cells. 12 miles away, USS Ralph Johnson joined the fight. More SM-2s launching. Overhead, for F/A-18 Super Hornets, already on patrol, received emergency tasking: protect Sterrett. Engage inbound missiles with AMRAAMs. Have you ever imagined what this must look like? Missiles hunting missiles. Supersonic interceptors racing to meet subsonic cruise missiles. It's like a deadly ballet in the sky. 3:43 and 47 seconds p.m. First intercepts. 40 kilometers out. SM-2s slammed into 4 Houthi missiles. Fireballs bloomed in the afternoon sky. Debris spiraling into the sea. But 12 missiles kept coming. Sea skimming. Harder to track. Closing fast. F divided by a -18s fired 16 AMRAAMs. Fighter jet missiles chasing cruise missiles, a desperation tactic that somehow worked. 5 more Houthi missiles destroyed. 7 missiles remaining. 20 kilometers out. You can feel the tension, right? Every second matters. Every decision counts. 3:44 and 38 seconds p.m. rolling airframe missiles launched from both destroyers. Point defense. Shorter range. 16 rams chasing 7 targets. Boom. 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 5 more kills. 2 missiles remaining. 8 kilometers. 30 seconds to impact. Commander Martinez could see them now on the display. 2 blips. Getting closer. Her ship. Her crew. CIWS. Engage. The Phalanx close-in weapon system roared to life. BRRRRRRT. 6,000 rounds per minute. A wall of tungsten. The first missile disintegrated. Shredded. The second missile jinked. Evaded. Still coming. 5 kilometers. 20 seconds. Electronic warfare kicked in. Jamming. Chaff clouds. False targets. The missile wavered. Confused. Circled. And then, boom. Impacted the water 700 meters from Sterrett. 3:45 and 3 seconds p.m. Silence on the bridge. Then. All missiles destroyed. No hits. No damage. No casualties. Martinez exhaled. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was steady. Damage control, report status. All stations report ready, Captain. We're operational. 16 missiles. All defeated. Perfect defense. But here's the thing, while those missiles were still in flight, something else had already launched from the carrier group. Retribution. You know what the Houthis and Iranians didn't understand? Americans don't just defend. They overwhelm. 3:42 and 58 seconds p.m. While Houthi missiles were still in flight, USS Abraham Lincoln's deck erupted. 12F divided by a -18E Super Hornets launched in rapid succession. Each carried precision weapons, dams, JASSMs, precision firepower. 6 F-35C Lightning IIs followed. Stealth fighters. Invisible to Houthi radars. From USS Bataan, 8 AH-1Z Viper attack helicopters lifted off, loaded with Hellfire missiles. And from both destroyers, the ships that had just been attacked, 40 Tomahawk cruise missiles launched. Can you picture this? The sheer scale? This wasn't a measured response. This was a statement. 3:45 p.m. The first Tomahawks hit Hodeidah Naval Command. The building where Houthi commanders had coordinated the attack? Gone. Obliterated. 12 precision strikes turned it into rubble. At Sana'a Military Complex, where the launch order originated, 8 Tomahawks penetrated the hardened bunker. The Iranian advisors inside? They never knew what hit them. 3:47 p.m. The 6 missile batteries that had fired on Sterrett? F divided by a -18s hit them simultaneously. JDAM bombs. Laser guided. Each battery received 8 bombs. Hodeidah battery, destroyed. Launchers twisted metal. Mocha site, obliterated. Nothing left but craters. Aden position, flattened. All 6. Gone. Permanently. But the Americans didn't stop there. 3:50 p.m. F-35s, completely invisible to Houthi defenses, struck leadership targets. The compound where Abdul Malik al-Houthi's military council met? 16 small-diameter bombs. The building collapsed. 7 senior commanders killed instantly. Iranian weapons storage facilities, the warehouses where Tehran's missiles were stored? OH-1Z helicopters hit them with precision hellfires. The secondary explosions lit up the night sky. Hundreds of missiles destroyed before they could ever be used. 3:54 p.m. Houthi fast attack boats tried to flee Hodeidah port. The boats they'd used to harass shipping for months? 8 boats. 48 hellfires. Every single boat destroyed. Sunk. Burning. What do you think was going through the minds of those Houthi commanders who survived? The ones watching their entire military infrastructure disappear in real time? 4 p.m. The final wave. Super Hornets struck fuel depots, communications towers, radar production facilities. Anything that could support future operations. 4:13 p.m. 31 minutes after the Houthis fired their first missile. Operation complete. The tally? 6 missile batteries destroyed. 7 command centers obliterated. 4 naval facilities gone. 3 training bases eliminated. Every Iranian-supplied radar system destroyed. Estimated casualties, 600 plus Houthi fighters. 23 Iranian Revolutionary Guard advisors. Dead. American losses? 0. Not one scratch on Sterrett. Not one casualty. The USS Abraham Lincoln carrier strike group? Sailed right through the Red Sea. Unstoppable. Protected. Victorious. In Tehran, the mood was funerary. Their 6-month investment? Destroyed in half an hour. Their advisors? Gone. Their strategy? Shattered. General Hajizadeh sat in darkness, watching the satellite footage. His gamble had failed spectacularly. The supreme leader's response was terse: "We miscalculated." For the Houthis, it was worse. Their military capability to threaten shipping? Eliminated. Their Iranian weapons? Destroyed. Their leadership? Decimated. One Houthi commander who survived later said, "We thought we were strong because Iran gave us powerful weapons. We forgot that weapons mean nothing without the ability to survive the response." So let me ask you, was it worth it? Was the attempt to strike one American destroyer worth losing everything? What would you have done differently if you were in their position? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This is the reality of modern naval warfare. This is what happens when calculation meets miscalculation. When ambition meets overwhelming force. The Red Sea is open. Shipping has resumed. The armada sailed through. And somewhere, in Tehran and Sana'a, commanders are learning the oldest lesson in warfare: never mistake weapons for power. Never confuse capability with wisdom. If you found this story as intense as I did, smash that like button. Subscribe for more real military analysis and untold stories from the front lines of modern conflict. What other naval confrontations should we cover? Let me know below. Until next time, stay informed, stay sharp, and remember, in the game of nations, there are no second chances for first mistakes.